Leo, how you doing? So your channel messages for this week are risky business or frisky business. It's either one or the other, but it's something to do with business comes first. A business opportunity or venture, but is it risky? It's like I'm having to take a risk assessment. Some of you might have to take a risk assessment or like a health and safety assessment, but they're saying, look, you need to fill out your assessment form in order for this to be able to go ahead, because it's assess, Sal, the name's Sal, Steve, Sarah, Sarah Sellers, Steve, hold on a second, Steve, Sal, Sarah, anybody beginning with S, but I'm hearing risky business or frisky business, but they said or. So it's either sort of like a business venture and you have to do a self-assessment, or like self-worth and value, like am I valuing, like am I going to get the right amount of value for what I offer? So some of you, like I said, it might be business stuff and you're like, okay, I need to do an assessment first in order to see how much my property's worth, or how much, because some of you it's an assessment like a property surveyor, but so that might be also an S, but like a surveyor. I need to do surveillance. That came up for another reading. Something in surveillance it was. Okay, because it was this hello and somebody being surveyed in surveillance of like a walkie-talkie or speaker or something like that. Okay, but it's to do with, like I said, some of this, like I said, it's having to do a risk assessment to do with, like, I don't know, it could even be a car or business or something, but they're saying that I have to do an assessment first. So it could even be something simple as around tax, right? But or a taxi company or a driving certificate or something like that, but I need to do an assessment first, check it to make sure that it's right. So okay, some of you this might be like well, I was going to say physical, metaphysical. I don't know what that's for, physical or metaphysical, but like, is it really there or is it really not? So what it's telling me is that it might have something to do with around the doctors, is what I was going to say, like an assessment. Like I need to go for like a smear test. That could also be that, like a smear test, like, or what's that? Simon, like Simples, but like insurance company. But also like a smear test of something that might be going on downstairs, because they did say. For a start, it was, what was it, Risky Business, the film, and that was to do with the business kind of messages, but then it was also to do with around frisk assessment, right? So frisky. So it might have anything to do with sex, or like, well, I'm hearing a song reference or something, Sex in the City, or something like that, but like a sex assessment, or an S is also sex. So it's something to do with around that, because they're saying like an assessment, like I need to go and have an assessment, or a cyst removed, or my sister removed, like something. Some of you might have like a sister that you don't get on with. They're saying like I have to have my sister removed, or a cyst removed. Like, or any of you got like a boil or something, or a cyst, and it's like, look, I'm persisting and persisting and persisting that I get this removed. So it might be like a mole removed, or a cyst, or something from the body itself that needs to be removed. So it could even be fat for some of you. Sorry, whoa, that was a little bit much. So what I'm picking up like is like exercise and things like this, and that you need to do an assessment before you go to the gym, because I am picking up like shops and things opening up beforehand, like, because normally when I'm thinking of an assessment is normally I go to, like, when the gym opens, they ask you to fill out a form of an assessment to say that you're physically, mentally well, or they're saying ill, physically, mentally ill. I don't know. So there's a doctor's thing here, but because I'm picking up like I need to do an assessment. Say like if you was going to the gym and it opened up, they would say, okay, you need to fill out an assessment to make sure that your heart rate's okay, that everything else is okay, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth, and that you have to go for an assessment to say that you're not at risk if you do this, which is kind of things like that, I suppose. Because they are saying a risk assessment around health. Like, I need to have an assessment first to make sure that I'm healthy enough to be able to do something. Like, I don't know if it's around getting pregnant, or because they are saying like risky, frisky business. So what is this for? Scorpio, something around Scorpio. Okay, Sun rising Venus, Jupiter, North Node. But they're saying like I need to do a risk assessment because it's risky. It's risky taking this, or risk, Rusks. Somebody's named Russell or rusks and around a baby that's being fed rusks, and it's like I'm taking a risk with rusks, taking a risk with Rusk or Russell, and then Russell or Russell Crowe, Brandon Lee or Crowe, or Crohn, like a Crohn's disease or some sort of disease of something, because I picked out before like something that might be medical that could be here, like a risk assessment of Crohn's disease or like a disease. So is this a sexually transmitted disease that somebody needs to get checked up? Because if it's like, look, I need to go and get checked up of a disease. So I don't know, are any of you on like the front line and this is to do with like health and safety of a disease centre? Like I need to make sure that I'm like COVID whatever, like, or you get called to go to the doctors or something like that, and I need to book into the clinic in order to have a checkup, or like your work is saying that you need to be checked up first. Because I'm also hearing like a check-out centre, like you work at a centre where you check things out. So it will be working with people. So generally, if you work with people, you have to have an assessment of health, because they're saying risk assessment. But what else do you get risk assessments in? Because they are saying cis or sister assessment, like to find out if someone is really my relative or not. Like, are they a relative of mine? Because I'm hearing she's got a sister, the palm of her hand is a blister, but I need more time. Like Melissa, the name Melissa. But I need more time. It's like, no, I need more time. Like I just need a bit more time. I need a bit more time in order to be able to fill out all these documents and all these forms, and I need a bit of time first to be able to think about whether I'm taking a risk or not. So I don't know what this is that is coming up for you about taking a risk, but they're saying that first of all you're going to need to do an assessment to see if you're okay to work doing this thing. That's what they're saying. That majority of this is around work, and that you need to do an assessment first, fill out some forms, and then to see whether you're mentally, physically, or healthy enough to be able to do this. Okay. So they're saying risk assessment. What else have you got, Leo? Sorry, if you haven't made this channel before, we do some intergalactic weird shit channel messages, and then we're looking at the tarot cards for you. Okay. For your weekly. But they're saying surveyor as well, like a surveyor. Savannah, or Anna, or Savannah. But Abigail, AB positive, AB negative, Libra. Somebody with Libra. Like, am I positive? Am I negative? Is my blood working right? Is it like blood? Because it might be a hereditary blood thing that a lot of you are looking into. Like, is it hereditary? Like, is this passed on through the family? And is it hereditary, right? So that as well, that's also a risk assessment. But they're saying, like, is it A or is it B? Is it A or is it B? Is it A or is it B? Like a test is like, okay, A, B, C, D, like alphabetical stuff. Alfie, the name Alf, or Alfie, or Alpha, Delta, Ray, but like Alpha. I don't know what that's for, because that might be coming through for the other reading where it's like, hello, yeah, Alpha, Delta, Ray, copy, Tango, 999, Kango, Tango, Tango. Come in, hello, Alpha, Delta, Ray, products, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit like when you phone up a company and they ask for a code. And you give them it, but they say it in that form, like A for Alpha, B for whatever, like D for Delta, D, Dan, Danielle, D's, anything beginning with D's nuts or D. Like, is it my nuts that need checking out? Like, well, just check out their nuts. Well, go and get your nuts checked out. I don't know. It was like, well, I need to check out my nuts first. So, I don't know. Some men might be having to go, because this is to do with like a smear test or a nut test or something, like an allergy test. An allergy or an allergy or allergy. What's up, blood? But like, I need to go for an it's the mesh here. But like, I need to go for an allergy test or an Al. The name Al or Alan or Steve. Steve, daytime, nighttime. Like, so sleep apnea test, or a sleep test, or a like daytime test, nighttime test, daytime test, nighttime test, or like a what else was I getting at? Sorry, come back messages. Like allergy test, like nuts. They're saying like peanut test, and like, am I allergic to nuts, or am I allergic to something that I'm eating? Because a lot of people, they don't realise that what you eat is normally what you are. So it's like you are what you eat. Eat, read, love. So you're probably still watching somewhere, I would say, in the background, not saying anything. But something like it, you are what you eat, and you eat what you are. So if I am what I'm eating, then it might be a lot to do with what you're eating that is stopping a lot of things that you might want to do, which means it might be lack of motivation. It might be an assessment with to do with like peanut allergies and things like this, that you might be allergic to something, and that because of that it might have a lot to do with food groups and stuff like this, because I'm picking up like foodie, and I'm a foodie, but I'm moody with food. So someone's got a mood around food, like they eat when they're in a mood, or they indulge in things when they're in a mood, and it might be your woman's cycle or something, or it might be tablets that you're taking. They're saying, because they're saying a food mood, like I'm always in a mood when I eat food, but when I don't eat food I'm in a mood, and because I'm moody it might actually be the food that I'm eating, and that's making me moody and then making me broody. So some of you it's to do with like children and kids wanting pregnancy or sex, and it's like I'm moody, broody, and then moody, or brady, or brody, or briny, or like I'm briny and I'm brainy, but I'm moody around food, and I am a foodie around the moon, like Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, and I'm moody around my mother, or I am a mother and the food is making me moody. Or feeding, like breastfeeding or feeding, but like you've got food references here around, like it might be the things that you're consuming and eating that are making you moody, or it's to do with around like allergies, that you might have an allergic reaction to something that's making you react because it's something that you're taking or not taking, which might mean supplements, vitamins, minerals, all these kind of things, like allergies, or you might have an allergy to something. So you might, although actually, Spirit is saying, and I don't know anything about this, what is when it is organic, and they call it something, and it's green normally, and it's like organic, right? And they call it, I think it's a deficiency that you might have where it's, what do they call that? When you go shopping and you buy it, but you don't look where everybody else looks. There's a certain aisle that you go down, and it's gluten. They're saying gluten-free. So it might be something where you might be going to have like a gluten test or a glue test. Glue test? Gluten. They're saying gluten. Gluten-free. So some of you, it might be to do with eggs, or I don't know, what's gluten-free? I don't really understand. But it might have something to do with that, like you might have been gluten positive, negative, whatever this is, but it could be something to do with the blood, like your blood, like you need to have your blood checked, or your partner does, or you do. I know I do. I've got to, because I've just been told that I've more than likely got high cholesterol. My cholesterol levels could be way off the roof, because they was when I first had it checked, and I've just started to get these silver tinges here. And my doctor told me that, because I'd done a little bit of research, looked into the doctor, phoned the doctors, and I've got a blood test, believe it or not. So yeah, they're going to check my blood completely and utterly for everything, to see if things are working. My cholesterol used to be 16 when I first had it checked out, and then when I lost loads of weight, went to the gym, so on and so forth, my levels went completely down. The what do you call it, went away, and that I was free of what I said for a start, whatever that was called, cholesterol, and then my health just started picking up again. So I'm more than likely going to have to go back onto the tablets there again, I think. So some of you, it could be to do with this, right? But I am picking up, you are what you eat, and if what you eat is crap, then you feel crap, is what I'm hearing. Like, you are what you eat. Well, this is very true. It's very true for me. You are what you eat, and if you eat crap all the time, you're going to feel crap all the time, right? So a lot of you are looking into like health and stuff like this, and looking into what you eat. Is what I'm hearing, Leo, for you. You are what you eat. What else have you got coming up, Leo? Well, we're going to leave it at that for the time being. So stay tuned with the channel. For a lot of you, if you haven't met me before, I channel just straight off the cuff, off what comes in for me, straight off the press. If it comes in, that's what you get. Right, there you go. So do with those messages as you will, Leo. And then we look into some tarot cards for you for your week. Cancer was done on the 1st, but I didn't have time to put it out. So it's the 2nd today, but don't really worry about so much of the timeline, because hopefully now I'm caught up and the month is now commenced and started again. As soon as I put the reading out, I'll finish the reading, I'll do the reading, the messages start to relate. Okay, so when I'm doing tarot cards, the messages of that may be the same, but they may be different when I'm doing tarot cards. Okay, so 2 different things completely. Channel messages, tarot cards, completely different. Because this will more likely tell me about your love lives, right? Or conflict that you've got going on. So let's see. So Leo, me Leos. What's Leo got going on this week, please, from the 2nd? What's Leo got going on this week, please, from the 2nd? Just very briefly, Leo, before we start. Oh no, I'll tell you at the end. I'll tell you at the end. Leo. What's going on with Leo, please? Leo. Someone else said this straight up yesterday, was it? What was the last reading that I put out? Well, apart from Cancer, the one before that, I think he's had that. Take a break, take it easy, Cat. Take it easy, Leo. It's like, well, I'm just so tired, I'm so drained, I don't know what's going on. Like someone's holding their stomach and thinking about this so much that they're over-analysing. This could be an over-analytical energy because it's 4, because it can also mean Scorpio. So it's kind of like, well, how can I possibly get through to you in order to say this? What do I do about this? Like, because it's like I'm thinking and contemplating, but I need to take a break from what I'm doing. Like, I need to take a break. I need to take a breather right here, because it feels like need to breathe in a way. It's come up for quite a few times. The band need to breathe, right? So it could be sleep apnea. It could be breathing. It could be sleeping. It could be lack of what do you call it? Insomniac, a lack of sleep. I'm also hearing Ali, Cat. So Leo, Ali, Leo, Leone, the name Leone, Leone. Thank you, Spirit. Leone. Alimony as well. Like, I need alimony. What is alimony? Child support? Is that alimony? So something to do with that. I really can't think off the top of my head what alimony means, but they're saying alimony. I'm sure that is someone's from London as well, London, Britain, or around that area. But yeah, because I'm hearing American Werewolf in London, and up the Allymore. So up the Allymore. But yeah, I need alimony. So alimony, pheromones. Someone's pheromonal is what I'm hearing, like pheromones. It's to do with a woman's cycle on their pheromones. Like, I don't know what this is. Like giving off a scent of pheromones, but it's got to have something to do with a woman's cycle. Is really what I'm picking up, like pheromonal. Or what? Hormonal? What? No, what's the word? Pheromonal or oh, I don't know what that word was. Trust me, it wasn't whore. But like, well, I don't know. Are you? But like, I'm also hearing bored, boring. Leo. Leo, what's going on with me Leos? What's going on with me Leos? With me Julies? What's going on with Julie? You need to speak to Julie. Someone's probably is speaking to Julie. I'm saying, what's up with me Julies? There's the allergy. What's up, Julie? What's up, Jews? Juju or Julie or Juice, Jaylee. Oh, here we go. Justin, Jason, John, James, Jennifer, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jeremy, Jay, Jason, said that one already. Jasmine, also Jasmine, but also putting that in food. Jasmine. Four of Swords, really? But Yeah. The jazz, like someone's listening to jazz music, or jazz, oh jazzy, really? There you go, Cynthia, you changed your name again for something else. But jazzy, Jersey, someone's from Jersey Shore, yeah, they're from Jersey Shore, but like, oh, Jersey, oh, what, are you sure? Yeah. What, Jersey? Yeah. What, shore? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Someone asks if they're sure a lot. You're like, someone makes you second guess. You're like, yeah, no, that's the answer. You're like, are you sure? Like, yeah, no, I'm sure. What are you, Sandy? so it's like, no, I'm sure. It's like, are you really? Or Gary Shaw. Gary. So I know Gary Shaw, you might be watching, bro. You're alright, I hadn't seen you from school. You're like Gary Shaw. But like, or the name Gary. Or Tina. Garantina. Tina, Argentina, or Argent, but guarantee, Gary, Tina. But I guarantee you that it's like, are you sure? Yes, I guarantee you that it could well be this. Are you sure? Yes, I guarantee you that it's this. Some of you need to speak to someone called Jules, Julie, Jason, Justin, Jonathan, J. But like, I need to speak to you urgently, Jules, Jason, Julie, Jolly, Joe, Justin, Julie, and Jillian. Like, I need to speak to us. I need to speak to you. Anyway, what do they want from me? Speak to me is what I'm hearing. Speak to me, or just spank me. Spank my pussy is what I'm hearing. Just spank me, for God's sake. Just spank me. Thank you, silence. Someone could be listening to that on the radio this week. What's her name? One hand in my pocket chick. But like, yeah. Or Dixie Chicks. Some of you can listen to Dixie, or Chicks, or something around someone's dick. Or Richard, or a Taurus. But like Dixie Chicks, or whatever her name is that sang that. Silence. Sound of silence. Someone's being silenced. Well, I'll just shut up then and be silent. Leo. Oh, business comes first. Trying to get through to a king. Oh, sorry, I got loads more to do. I need to take a break from work. Could be having a rest this week. Could have a day off here. Or you could be laid off. For a lot of you, you're probably looking for furlough, because I'm also hearing, well, I've just been laid off. Now what do? I need to think about my next venture because I've been laid off work. Now, it might not be that you're laid off work. If you're not and you're working too hard, you need to take a break. But normally people can't just say, I'm going to take a break from work. Which means that you've got a day off coming up. Some of you have been laid off though, or somebody, the father or stepfather or the provider of something may be laid off here, okay? Because something is off, is what I'm hearing, like it's gone off, like the food is gone off, or someone's gone off something. It's like, I'm sorry, but I've gone off it, like I've gone off, someone's gone off, something's gone rotten. I don't know what it is, or Rotterdam, or Amsterdam, but gone off is what I'm hearing. Well, I'm gone off. I've gone gonzo, or I've gone off you. Gone off you? My nephew has gone off you. Sorry, but my nephew is gone off to see the wizard. So, yeah, where's my nephew going? Oh, God, if I can hear about my nephew one more time. My nephew, my nieces and nephews is what I'm hearing. Neff or Steph. Stephanie or Stephanu. Stephanie, you're at Tuna, happy birthday through Aries, but I doubt you'll be watching it because you don't know what your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter is, and you could well have Leo in your chart. But Steph, sorry, someone I know. Business comes first. What do you want me to do? Well, I'm just sitting here waiting for you. Yeah, well, I'm at work. What do you want me to do about it? Are you going to talk? Are you speaking? Are you speaking here? So it's like, well, you know, I'm a king, so I have to look into my books. I'm going to have to check things over and make sure that I've done everything correctly if I'm going to do it, because the book is opening. The Book of Shadows. It's like, yeah, well, I have a shadow of something. Oh, hopefully nobody's got a shadow on their lung or something. A shadow. I'm hearing the shadows. Shadows. But, Shallow. Someone seems as if they're very shallow. Shallow. Well, why are you so shallow with me? Because I'm a king of swords. So, yeah, but I want you to be more ooey gooey and soft and chewy. Yeah, but I'm a man, bruv. I'm a geezer. Like, what do you want to know? Like, well, I can't give you much more because I'm a bloke. I'm a geezer. I'm a guy, right? So you've kind of got this, yeah, but you're fucking draining the shit out of me. It's like, well, what more do you want me to do? I'm working, like, you know. So you've kind of got this working relationship with work, or your partner has, or you have. But like I said, this business venture and this business opportunity, this could be happening at your work, because this would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarian, but it would also represent boss, business, company. Bad company. Let's see. Are you keeping bad company, they're saying? Like, is it to do with the people that you're listening to of keeping bad company? Like, oh, I just seem like bad company at the moment. Like, what's the matter with you? You alright? It's like, nah, I just feel like I'm bad company. I don't feel like anybody listens to me. Like, you know, well, what are you bad company for? Like, well, what, or is it your company that's bad or something that's going off? But like, I'm thinking, oh no, this company is doing my head in, man. Or like, I feel like I'm bad company at the moment. Yourselves, maybe. But Leo, what's going on with Leo this week? Six of Swords. Man, where's the love up in here? Six of Swords. Well, there's a lot going on with your family here, and your father and your mother and your stepfather possible here, because this can represent stepfather and or siblings in a way. But 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Swords is kind of like this never-ending story. Atreyu. You're right, Atreyu. Is someone going to betray you? It's like, oh, you've betrayed my trust. You've told everybody. I told you not to tell everybody. And you've just betrayed my trust. That's been coming up for a while. You know, I told you this in confidence and you betrayed my trust. So if the trust is broken and the trust is gone, who's telling what? Because I'm hearing, well, I'm going to tell you a story. The never-ending story, la la la. Because these are both 10, you see. It's just like you're going around and around in circles here. So a lot of you are leaving work. Just on a plain, simple structure of tarot. 4 of Swords. I'm in bed. Ooh, what's for breakfast? Smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast. Pisces could well be involved here somewhere. It's to do with breakfasts, dinner and tea. Not going to go over that anymore. But breakfast, dinner and lunch. Breakfast, dinner and tea. Breakfast and brunch. Right? Who gives a shit? 3 meals a day. Something to do with like, well, 3 meals. No, 4. So it's like, no, how many do you want? It's like, well, I want... It's like, do you want 3? It's like, no, I'd rather have 4 of them. You're like, oh, what, really? You want to eat all 4? It's like, yeah, no, I want 4. So you might be cooking breakfast for 4 or something. Or like, okay, let's go out just the 4 of us. Just the 4 of us. Well, like, it was better than just the 2 of us, right? Well, then let's do the 4 of us. Unless you're having a foursome. But, or foursome. It's like, well, I'm going to have to force you to do it then. Ooh, I'm going to have to force you. With the force, Luke. I'm hearing Luke. Luke, the name. Ooh, Luke in the book. Someone could be from up north and like, alright there, Luke. But Luke Skywalker. Something to do with the name Walker or Brian. You're right, Brian's. It's the Brians or Brian Walker or Luke Skywalker or the name Walker or Brian or Luke itself. But, ooh, Luke. There's Luke. You're right, Luke. Yeah, anyway, that's your intergalactic weird shit. Few things going on with the tarot there, Leo. If you want to support me as a channel, this is where I get more serious about the actual reading itself. I'll do you a full spread and clarify them and tell you what you've got coming up, roughly for your week, but it's really not a timeline. I'm not asking Spirit, can you tell me what's going on between the 1st or 2nd of the whatever? From the 2nd onwards, right? So, full spread clarified. But after this one, I'm going to probably do another weekly, and then after that one, I think I might do a 2 weekly reading, but only put that out on Patreon, because the reason why I haven't done that this month for everybody, where I normally put out the 2 week readings straight after the monthly, is because your messages have just been done for the monthlies. Okay, so what I thought is probably do 2 weeklies for the Patron tier 2 members, full access bundle, 2 weeklies for everybody and also Patreon, but the last 2 weeks I will more than likely do that just for Patreon, but I changed my mind like the wind, bruv. So I'm going to try and do something just for Patreon members, but then maybe also something for YouTube as well. But I have to try and juggle both, and doing both of those can be very difficult, of keeping the YouTube going, keeping the promise also to Patreon, keeping the energy different, and blah, and so on and so forth. So that's business. So if you want to join, it really supports me also, but this will only be for patrons on the full access bundle, but you can find that link provided below in the show more section. All the details of everything that you want to know are everywhere in the show more section. Thank you for any super chats, any kind words, comments, subscriptions, likes, shares, even a dislike. Still helps the channel for all the negative lot, but it still helps. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it, Leo, and I will hopefully see you on the other side.